Shabbat is the Hebrew word for the Sabbath, the Jewish holy day. The Asanas are the body positions for yoga. At the 6th and I Historic Synagogue, Shabbat and the Asanas are coming together for shabbasana, yoga for the Sabbath. The first step was a successful one-time yoga class for Yom Kippur.
We can release gesture reminiscent of the sacred ritual of lighting the candles. And yet a gesture practiced by peoples all over the world as a way to invoke sacred space and time.
Shortly after that, the rabbi of the 6th and I Historic Synagogue asked Greg Marzullo to make it a regular event.
That would sort of infuse Jewish spirituality into the yogic practices without diminishing either. We didn't want it to be this sort of mishmashy blend where it weakened both traditions, but we wanted it to be something that actually bolstered the inherent wisdom present in both traditions.
About 30 Washingtonians squeeze into a multi-purpose room for one reason: to see how they can leave the workday behind and use yoga to transition to the Sabbath.
And I do yoga on my own, and but I'm also Jewish and I celebrate Shabbat, so it's the first time I've ever done yoga before Shabbat, so I thought it was a cool opportunity.
He's one of more than 20 million Americans who practice yoga. In the past 5 years, interest in yoga has grown by more than 30%. For some of the participants at this class, the teacher is the big draw.
And so I was really curious to see what he would do with Shabbat and this notion of making space and time for yourself in a specifically Jewish way, because he does it in every class he teaches, because it's an important part of yoga to make space for yourself, because it's when you make space that you can then grow into it.
Yoga is about finding yourself, peace and love and spirit. Shabbat's about being spiritual and finding peace in the week. It's actually Shabbat separates out the rest of the work week from the day of rest, so it's all coming together.
The class is representative of many Americans who try yoga. There are many beginners and a few true experts. No one is expected to do each pose perfectly. This Friday night class is really about transition from the nonstop workaholic world of Washington to the day of rest and prayer.
It allows us to get out of our heads. You know, we're running around, we're texting, we're emailing, we're calling, we're doing all this craziness, and yet when we get to the mat and the only thing that we can focus on is the breath, is this foot being here, this arm being here, moving in a particular way, it allows us to just get a little bit of a pattern interrupt with all the craziness that goes on in the mind, and then we drop down.
She's totally chill, Shabbat style.
Having moved from the warrior pose to the much more relaxed child pose, after the class, the students are invited to Shabbat services in the main assembly room. Shavasana is the Sanskrit word for the posture of rest, and shabbasana, yoga for the Sabbath, is about coming to relaxation and preparing for Shabbat. And with the growing popularity of yoga in America, some think it might be the next big idea, especially for Jewish Americans. I'm Priscilla Huff for JN1 in Washington.